1975, a group of foreign tourists passed through Afghanistan on their overland journey toward Nepal. They were traveling in a Volkswagen van along the long, dusty roads of the region, and during this trip, they had the opportunity to visit the Bamiyan Valley in the heart of the remote Hindu Kush Mountains. One of these tourists says in their narrative, "We were on our way to Nepal in 1975. We passed through Afghanistan in a Volkswagen, and along the way, we were able to visit the Bamiyan Valley in the remote Hindu Kush Mountains. After climbing roads that reached altitudes of over 3,600 meters, they finally arrived in Bamiyan, where the famous statues of the Buddhas of Bamiyan were set into the massive cliffs. Describing the site, the tourists say, the Buddhas in the monks' caves are carved into the cliffs of the Bamiyan Valley. In the past, this was one of the important centers of trade in Buddhism. According to them, in the 4th and 5th centuries AD, this region held an important strategic position and benefited from the prosperity of the Silk Road. Caravans traveling between the Roman Empire, China's Han Dynasty, Central Asia, and South Asia would stop here. As a result of these interactions, elements of Greek and Buddhist art blended together, giving rise to a style known today as Greco-Buddhist art. The tourists also point to the grandeur of the Buddha statues, one standing 53 meters tall and the other 35 meters. After visiting Bamiyan, these travelers headed toward one of Afghanistan's most beautiful natural areas,
the lakes
Band-e-Amir Lakes, located about 75 kilometers northwest of Bamiyan at an altitude of nearly 3,000 meters above sea level. In describing this location, they say, natural dams made of white travertine stone have created walls between the lakes. Band-e-Amir is the largest and deepest of these lakes, reaching a depth of about 150 meters. However, the tourists note that at that time, in 1975, the area was home to only a small number of people living in very simple and impoverished conditions in mud houses and tents. Then, they packed their bags and set off toward Nepal. Another video, filmed in the summer of 1975, shows the tourists traveling from Kabul toward Bamiyan. After completing the route between Kabul and Bamiyan, they reach the center of Bamiyan and visit the Buddhas of Bamiyan. They capture images of various parts of the Buddhas, showcasing their magnificence. If you are interested in seeing the Buddhas of Bamiyan in full detail before their destruction, watch this video until the end.
Thank you.